This is the CHRILLCAST Live. I'm Chris.
And I'm Andrew.
And Will's currently at Microsoft's headquarters trying to get some information about Fable and Halo and whether or not they're both dead.
He's offering every favor he can think of. So
even the ones that aren't involving money. Anyways, amidst all the layoffs, Will is trying to get these things made for you. So just you could thank him later for every effort he's made towards Phil Spencer getting these products made for you.
Actually, I'm pretty sure he's over at Davos trying to find the executives who are there. So
we're not going to go there today. All right, Google Stadia. The ill-fortuned, ill-named, stupid thing that Google decided to make. And my kids would correct me. They say, don't say stupid, Dad, but this was stupid. Stadia is stupid. This
I don't think that's strong enough language at all.
It's strong enough language to meet the terms of YouTube. Anyways,
that is fair, especially since this is their product. So
Google Stadia's cloud gaming platform shuts down today. The only credit they get, though, is they actually refunded anybody who bought games. Like, how insane is it that they refunded the 5 people who bought games?
Can we just point out the fact that it was a cloud gaming service that required you to buy the games directly?
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't do it as a service. They were like, no, you have to buy the game.
And this is the reason why I think xCloud has succeeded, whereas Google Stadia has not.
Yeah.
Xbox allows you to both download and stream the games that you have purchased. You don't have to buy games to stream. That's why I think Amazon Luna will not be any better, personally. No offense to Amazon and their technologies. Luna's a streaming game service. It ain't going to work.
Well, as a service, if you don't have to buy the individual games, I think it can work.
Well, if you're paying for games you have access to. Like Apple Arcade works. Like Apple Arcade could work as a streaming service because it's $5. You don't have to think about it. It's not $15. And Apple has a library that's curated you have access to.
And I agree, because Apple is targeting the cheaper market, which is casual phone and iPad gamers.
There's some pretty serious games in the Apple Arcade library. Have you looked at it recently?
I understand that.
There's a full-blown Final Fantasy style game in there.
But it's all being ran on it's all able to run on your iPad or iPhone, basically, if I'm not mistaken.
It means you don't have to buy any additional devices or services that unless you don't have an iPhone, then of course you got to join the ecosystem.
We've discussed this before. It hits the perfect market of people who you want to subscribe. It's called parents of young children. It hits perfectly because they already see the Apple services and they're like, oh, well, Apple TV, I wouldn't mind listening to that. Oh, Apple Music. And then you're going to get them convinced that they should just do the main subscription of, Apple One or Plus or whatever.
Apple One gives you 6 services, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like they target the perfect price point with the perfect demographic that doesn't really have competition anywhere. It's not like you're getting Amazon Luna on your phone for mobile games, right?
Right.
So Amazon's targeting PC gamers with, you can argue, significantly higher and more intensive games for what you need as the system. So it's going towards PC, I think. And
probably
they justify 15.
The only way Google Stadia would be nice is if you happen to be in that 1% of people who have gigabit Ethernet, gigabit internet, Google Fi or whatever, and you don't like
fiber optic,
because if you have a fast enough internet provider and you had Google Stadia and you live near one of the server hubs, I imagine it would work pretty well and you would never have to download games because they'd already be there. But unless you're in that 1% of people that happen to have those factors, living out in the country like I do, Google Stadia doesn't do anything for me.
Well, I was just going to say too that the price point for Amazon Luna too, though, isn't that crazy. How much was Xbox Gold or whatever it was?
Xbox Live Gold?
Yeah.
Or do you mean Xbox Game Pass?
Live.
Xbox Live on its own was essentially $60 a year. Unless you paid by the month, it'd be $10 a month. So it'd be 20.
Yeah, so for streaming all the game and having full access to games, I don't think that's a crazy service price to say $15 a month.
That's what Game Pass costs. Yeah.
Yeah, but what's Luna? Isn't it similar?
I don't know what I think. Now you're gonna make me look something up midway through
I'm
the show.
Sorry. But
So,
you
so
just said that
Stadia
the
was
price
like
point was bad.
Stadia was $10 a month to just have access to the games you already paid for. That's how they launched it.
No, it was a I hate to say dumb, but it was pretty
It was
dumb.
dead on arrival. Who's gonna
Yeah.
pay for access to their games that they already paid? Like, who's gonna pay $10 a month to have access to a game you paid
Right.
$60 for?
I mean,
That's just stupid business.
it's unpalatable to
Unless
many
Google's
people.
like gonna skim money off the top of every sale, like you're not gonna get people to pay for a service to have access to games.
They were too honest, right? They were too honest with how the business model works for buying something digital. You don't have access to it unless you use their service, and if they ever decide to take it off, you lose access to it. So
I think Luna is still in early testing.
is it not fully released?
Okay. Yeah, let me see. So Luna Plus includes family-friendly games, play games you already own if you link to your Ubisoft account. Okay, so they're trying a little different than Stadia did.
Yeah, I told you it's not the same thing.
It's similar. It's not the same.
It's not the same. Google took and was like, hey, how can we have a worse product launch than Google Glass? And that was how they did it.
Well, they got Jackbox in there. That's a smart game. They do have Prime members can play some games for free. Like, you get Jackbox Party Pack 2 for free. See, they're trying the Epic Games Store route. They're not. Yeah. They're not. They also have a partnership with Ubisoft to offer Ubisoft games you already own. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely doing better. And you have a direct connection with Twitch.
Yeah.
I don't think Luna's going to make any waves, but it's already more successful than Stadia.
I mean, if they actually partner it well with Twitch, it could compete with Game Pass, maybe.
Well, but I mean, Google had YouTube, and YouTube was like killing it with gaming when they launched Stadia.
Yeah, but they didn't do partnerships. They didn't. They had it siloed real bad.
They basically did what Sony did with the Vita. They launched it and then let it die.
Okay,
I think they recognized they had a losing business strategy and said, "Whoops," and then they just let it die.
Yeah, but that's different than the Vita.
Well, the Vita didn't have a winning business strategy either. Yeah, the Vita did not have a winning business strategy. Like, that's just
because it was ahead of its time.
It was. It had an OLED screen and a portable product before you even had really OLED screens and phones.
Yeah, I mean, it had that was just ahead of its time as far as what they were trying to do with streaming and stuff too, on the go gaming.
The Vita launched the OLED screen on it so early that they actually still had issues with OLED screens at the time they were launching. They launched with these cloudy little things inside of the bezel of a screen because of the way that you had to mount the digitizer to the screen. And you had to just live with that. So in an entirely black screen during a Vita gameplay, you might see these weird clouds because of the backlight. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't want to get too deep into this. Stadia was dumb. Luna seems to be better, but also dumb. Xbox Game Pass and xCloud seems to be the only platform that actually understands gamers.
No, I mean, you have at the Apple Arcade.
Not streaming. I said streaming.
Oh, well, it's only a matter of time before that becomes it implements aspects.
Anyways, moving on. The Last of Us. I love the concept of how The Last of Us zombie plague starts, which is cordyceps. And, it's adapting to humans. As far as a zombie apocalypse, it's probably the most unique one I've seen in film recently.
Can we also say that's the most realistic / probable versus a virus?
See, but if you can, so here's the thing I always think about. If you think about what rabies does to the human brain, like rabies isn't that far off from zombie either.
But it doesn't have the longevity.
No, but if rabies mutated enough, it could.
I mean,
I think the most likely virus to become zombie apocalypse is probably rabies. But if I had to pick a parasitic organism that could cause zombie apocalypse in a day, if it had the ability to infect humans, cordyceps would be it by far.
I mean, okay, so I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that The Last of Us, the show, actually does a really good job of making the argument that as a species we've always had viruses, and as a species we're adapting to them and building immunity. So it'd be really hard for a virus to ever get the like 80% infection and then also that level of mortality tied to it. I think that's just my opinion.
I mean, it would. I would think the most likely way a virus becomes that viral is through human
yes.
human
Yeah.
modification. Like
Yeah.
for example, the way that it happens in the movie
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think human intervention is the only way you get a virus that potent.
I mean, I Am Legend, it was not even necessarily a virus per se. It's like
no, it was no. It was like a modified, I think it was a modified measles virus they used to kill cancer.
Oh yeah.
So yes, it was.
It's just one of those weird things where that wasn't even. It's not even a bad one though, because it's not killing you. It makes you ridiculously strong and everything.
Well, okay, fair enough. But what I'm saying is like that was a zombie apocalypse that is not necessarily feasible. I don't know how you would.
Well,
I don't know if a virus could actually do what it did.
It's more feasible than a fake. Not fake.
I don't think naturally you're going to find a virus that can do anything from the wild that happens in I Am Legend. Like you would have to have some kind of. I'm gonna say the magical words. I'm gonna say the magical words to get us banned off YouTube. You'd have to have humans experimenting with some kind of gain of function research in order to get a virus that could do that.
I mean, anything that's even like rabies, though, even anything that does what the difference is, though, is you put the body under so much stress that it would naturally deteriorate. I think.
Well, it depends. Does the virus strengthen the muscles?
Probably not.
I'm just saying, like, if you could figure out a way that it would, like, imagine.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. You'd literally have to take little modules of different aspects and put it in one virus.
I don't think it's that far fetched to say that we could do something which would reprogram the muscle cells in the body to produce something more strenuous.
I mean, yeah, you can do things like that with GMOs.
If they can reprogram things in bodies to produce different things, like why couldn't they?
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. But this take right here, it makes the most.
So cordyceps, viruses don't require a host to survive, or do require a host to survive. Parasites, I don't know. I really don't know if the cordyceps would require human. Like if they could develop a way to infect humans with their parasitic traits, I don't know that they need us. They just need some living organism to move on to.
Yeah. But as far as the show goes, if you're a person who's played the games, I would say you're not going to be surprised at all. It's very faithful to the story. There's like a couple weird aspects. Like for some reason,
every other stupid thing that's come out in the past 2 years, like Halo show, Rings of Power.
This is actually really, really faithful. The first episode, I'm pretty sure it was like a 2-hour premiere. It went on forever. But it was very faithful to the story line that happens in the game. You basically go play the game, go watch this, and it's gonna be no surprise at all. I would say maybe it's a little too much like that. I don't know.
Does it follow the show too closely? Is that what you're trying to say?
It might. It might follow the game a little closely, where you're not surprised by anything.
Does it open up with the same scene where his daughter dies?
Actually, it tries to expand on that whole build up to it a little bit more.
Well, yeah, because you've got such a timeline in between where the game starts and where the storyline starts.
Well, no, they just try to build up into the how the
they went through the virus outbreak and how the parasite outbreak.
Yeah, and then they don't.
So how did they explain cordyceps making the jump to humans?
They don't explain it. They just build up into the scene where everybody starts being infected and the military's having to institute martial law and stuff. They randomly made.
Good luck instituting martial law when half the military is going to be infected.
Right. And then so that whole scene was pretty good overall. And then I wish they would have done a little bit more with the journey after her death.
Because that's the missing years. You have so much creative freedom to experiment with how he gets from daughters dying to where he is when the game technically starts.
I mean, that's going all the way from Texas to Boston, right?
I mean, that is one of the, honestly, I will say, As much as I dislike the gameplay of Last of Us, I love the storyline in the first Last of Us. Don't care for the second one storyline. I read the whole plot. Don't like it. Anyways, but the first one I actually thought was extremely well written.
Oh, it's so well written. That's why
Kind of like Horizon Zero Dawn. I love the storyline.
Yeah.
Hate the gameplay.
See, that's why I think that maybe if you, like I was saying, it's really faithful to the game.
I'd have to subscribe to HBO though, Andrew. We'll see. I don't currently have an HBO subscription.
Just talk to me later. All right. No, the thing is that they skip out on those missing years, right?
Yeah, like you can easily do something with those.
Naughty Dog, for one, should have made a game that's a prequel, I think, to go through that. That would honestly be the smart
travel
thing to
from
do.
Texas to Boston or whatever.
Yeah, if they were to make a future game, that would be the smart thing to do, not try to make some follow-up to part 2. But the show easily could have...
Are you suggesting that part 2 wasn't as good?
Yes, I've said that many times on this podcast. But yeah, if they...
Such a controversial opinion.
Yeah, I think they should have expanded on that journey a little bit in the show, because it would have potentially given them more material to do more than one season, I believe. I don't know how they do more than one season at the pace they're going.
Are they going fast?
They're following the book pretty well.
The book?
I mean, not the book. I mean the game.
I was gonna say there's a book now too.
No,
that I don't know about.
They're doing the game very well. But like, given the pace, I could see it being a singular season. So they're not. You might like it. You might not like it if you want to be surprised by anything. But if you've never played the game, you'll like it 100%. It's very good show for what it is, as an adaptation of the game into TV.
I think the first game would adapt really well.
Yeah.
I think the second game,
I don't think it would be
so out of left field for most people in the way that it was presented. But I don't know.
It would upset TV viewers.
I'll be right back, Andrew. Sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead and talk. You can talk about the series, spoilers, but I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil anything. So, like I was saying when Chris was still here, the show is not really. It's not going to bring any left field surprises so far. It's very true to the game. It will. So if you want that, I would say that is a better take than how the Assassin's Creed movie was, where it didn't feel very true to the story behind. That was the inspiration. If the Assassin's Creed movie made more of a push to be more true to the actual roots, I think it would have been much better. So like, as of right now, I'm giving this first episode, given that it's a building block episode. It was I think a 2-hour premiere. It was very long, probably because it didn't make sense to break up the initial start of the pandemic and then the journey where he starts off from the quarantine zone. So they made like one really, really, really long episode. I think that it's at least a 7.5 probably. If you never played the game, I would probably rate it an 8, just because you've never seen anything. So it's not like, okay, I know what's happening. But yeah, it's definitely worth watching if you have HBO. That's for sure. The actors, I will say this, the actors for it, I wasn't sure what to think of Pascal being Joel, but he's managed to actually pull it off. I would say there's no accent issues or anything. You would actually think he's from Texas. Ellie, when you're introduced to her, even though she's a British actress, you would not be able to tell that she's a British actress. Her accent is pretty on point as well. They did make one weird switch up since they made Sarah where she's not a blonde. That was weird at first. You didn't know what's up. Then Tommy, they expand a little bit more on Tommy in this episode as well, early on, just kind of in the build up to the breakout and everything going to crap. So overall, I would say it's looking promising. I'm curious to see how fast the show continues to progress. It'll be, I'm thinking it's only a singular season, but then again, HBO surprised me with how they kind of took the trajectory for things like the House of Dragon and stuff. I was not expecting how the trajectory ended up kind of plateauing a little bit, so they clearly needed at least one more season. So maybe it takes that route with The Last of Us. It'll be interesting to see, and I recommend watching it. And
I'm
Chris
glad
gets
that
back
you gave
right at the
a
back.
I'm glad that you gave a glowing review for The Last of Us so that I can go back and find out what you said later. All right.
Yeah. We should move
Anyways,
on.
I would say that The Last of Us is a show that the Halo TV show on Paramount could learn a few things from, how people actually like when you follow the game faithfully.
Well, I was also saying that I think the Assassin's Creed movie could have learned some lessons and done more of that. So while
I
you're
think
not
Assassin's
surprised,
Creed probably works better as a TV show than a movie.
that's the other thing. That's the other thing which I
It's
mentioned
very
previously.
episodic in nature with like chapter by chapter, especially
Yeah.
especially Ezio.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where the Assassin's Creed movie didn't even follow the actual story of the Assassins that well. So
I think it's really sad when you have a great story
Mhm.
and the creators of a show sidestep it.
But I mean,
Because then
maybe,
the bulk of the audience that goes to watch it
yeah,
is either people who have never played it or people that have only played it.
right.
And so you're going to piss off the fans that like it. And if you don't tell a good story, then you're going to piss off the people that have never played the games. And you give a bad image to the games because it's like, oh, this is a stupid story. Why would anybody play those games?
Right, and it's
So you're
not
like double killing a franchise with that.
And I think the showrunners always forget that the reason gamers like the game tends to be that it's a well-driven story.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a compelling story that you're playing in. But like, if you look at it too, maybe Netflix will pick up Assassin's Creed for a TV show. I can't imagine them not. If they're already making deals with Ubisoft for like games and stuff.
I would love to see somebody pick up some of Michael Crichton's other books and make a show or a series out of them.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot of good stuff besides Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Anyways, Last of Us, I would definitely say sounds worth watching. And the intro with the cordyceps looks so much like what they did with Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm. So I was saying I rate it at like it ranges from 7 to 8 depending on your familiarity with the story and if
that sounds like it's pretty good compared to the junk that's been punched out the last few years.
Yeah, so I say it might be a 7 if you're looking for surprises. If you want some things to like to be different,
I don't.
not necessarily different, but like but expanded on.
Sure.
If you don't want it to be super fidelity to the game, then you might say it's more like a 7.
I think it'd be cool to see some more background to some of the other organizations in the game.
Right, and they haven't done it so far in the first episode.
Because what is it? My memory is foggy, but is it the Fireflies?
Yeah,
as
Fireflies.
A group? And then there's like the military group.
Mm-hmm. They haven't done that yet in this first one. I think but it's definitely one of those things where if you've never played the game or if you just want a show to be very faithful to the game, you're closer to a 7.5 or an 8. That's where I currently rate it.
I removed that caption there because I didn't realize all it said was "kill us." It's like, wait a second, I probably don't want that on the screen that long.
So,
all right,
that's where I'm at with it.
Okay. All right, let's move on to the next one.
Yes.
So Microsoft is reportedly laying off thousands of employees, including gaming units behind Halo and Starfield, which means they're impacting Bethesda and 343.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who knows what part of the group they're like fighting? It might be marketing, might be. I mean, I highly doubt it's devs because there's a lot of things you can continue to make games with. It does not include devs.
I would say the optimistic view for Bethesda's impact would be that they just acquired them, and maybe they're
trimming the fat.
consolidating. Yes, maybe they're consolidating certain roles into under people who are already employed by Microsoft. I don't know, but
like if you have two people that do the same thing, essentially, like combine the position,
like PR.
Yeah,
Microsoft already has enough PR people, I'm assuming, but.
Right.
The concern for the fact that it even mentions Starfield, that's weird to me. That it's specifically mentioning Starfield, because Bethesda's known way more for other games than Starfield.
Oh, speaking of Bethesda, here's something you probably don't know about. There is a full-blown remake of Oblivion in the Skyrim engine that's almost done. They're calling it Sky Oblivion.
That sounds like I would buy that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a mod release. I don't know if it's gonna be on PC or what, but yeah, there's a full-blown mod for Skyrim that redoes the entirety of Oblivion, and there's also one for Morrowind called Skywind. Nice. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think Skywind is pretty far off, but Oblivion's way close to being done.
You just 2025.
Yeah. Oblivion and Skyrim mod, Sky Oblivion gets a 2025 release. Yeah, it's getting really close to being done. So they've been releasing betas.
Here's the question: is that going to? They should make it where it combines it with Skyrim, where it's like in the same together. Game. Yeah, where it's like one universe. That's what I think it should be. But they probably won't.
Yeah, Skywind is going to be done too. Oh, Skywind is apparently a company too. Oh well. Anyways, long story short, I'm more excited for Sky Oblivion than I am for Starfield.
Yeah, and the fact that they're specifically mentioning Starfield, though,
not a good thing.
That's not a good thing, and
unless they're like killing off contracts because they're close to releasing it.
Yeah, I don't know. They still don't have a release date though for the big showcase event.
That's true.
And it sounds like
I have a feeling the more we talk about Starfield, the more underwhelmed I feel like it's going to be.
Because I haven't seen a single thing about Starfield that makes it look like they are going to do more than a bunch of empty planets. It just seems very empty. And unless the showcase blows me away, I probably won't buy it.
343 Industries was hit hard. That does not surprise me. Like, look, Halo's not doing well. I don't think there's any way around that. Like, Halo is not doing well.
It's a good thing.
Of course, there's going to be layoffs at 343.
Yeah.
Whether you like 343 or not, 343 is having issues, and therefore they are going to get some layoffs.
But it's a good thing Will's not here to read this because he'll be hurt.
Yeah. So the 10,000 layoffs across all of Microsoft represents about 4.5% of the total workforce, around 220,000 people.
For a company like them, that's quite a bit still.
Yeah, it is a lot.
4.5% is quite a lot of people.
Now, that could all be marketing. Who knows? But either way. But yeah, it says it's really going to affect Halo Infinite, which Halo Infinite is technically a complete game that's just getting fixed and getting updates. So, like, you probably don't need as much staff as you needed when you were launching it. But it's still frustrating when they said Halo Infinite is going to be a 10-year game. And here we are in year 3, and they've done almost nothing with it.
Right.
So
that's kind of where we're at, right?
Yeah. I mean, Redfall sounds exciting. Hopefully they get that out the door soon.
Isn't that supposed to be out this month or next month?
I don't remember when Redfall's supposed to come out.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, you can find out, I guess.
Well, it doesn't. I don't think it matters that much, but I'm just not.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Is this the vampire killer?
Oh, no, I don't care about that one.
You were thinking of Oblivion. Not Oblivion,
6.
But the Elder Scrolls 6. Yeah, that's not that. That's I forget what that's called.
Yeah, I thought it was Red.
I don't think they've actually announced.
Maybe Red was a rumored name for there was a Red in the rumored name for the news.
I think Redfall was a rumor because people saw stuff about it, and then it turned out to be this game instead.
Well, I think Redfall is also something in Skyrim.
It
somewhere.
is. It's related to the Red Guard, I'm pretty sure.
That's right. Yeah. Did you see some guy was cosplaying as a guard in Skyrim for like the last 6 years and got accepted into some order in the game?
Oh, really?
He was
That's
cosplaying
hilarious.
as a guard in the game. Imagine spending that much. Then apparently he because he's so into playing the role of the guard, like he got sent out to find some bandits and wound up in some other part of the game. And he was like, I don't know if he was streaming or just describing it in like Reddit posts, but
yeah,
I read through some of the coverage and it was hilarious. Like I can't imagine, like I couldn't be that dedicated to role playing a specific character in a game by that much, but still fun to read.
that is funny.
So the next thing we're going to cover, for those of you that are not a little biblically challenged, apparently Adventures of the Old Testament, the Bible video game, is officially out on consoles as of last month. Like I've been saying for years that this is a game that should be made.
I mean, honestly, if you read through the Old Testament, it's pretty brutal.
Oh my gosh, Time Until the Flood, 1858.
You could I'm just saying, that's a pretty
What's he doing?
stories.
Rounding up the animals? Is that part of the game?
I don't know. It looks like he's fighting people who are trying to destroy his ark.
He's fighting the Nephilim, the giants.
Yeah. Depends on how they did it, but this honestly could be a pretty violent game.
I'm gonna play this game, okay? Never seen before. Immerse yourself in an amazing world with Adventures of the Old Testament. Have you ever wanted to journey through the Bible? Well, now you can with the new video game, Adventures of the Old Testament. This game is like nothing you have ever seen before. The Bible's been out 2,000 years plus, okay? So I disagree. People have seen this before. It is an action-packed adventure that will take you on a journey through some of the most famous stories in the Bible. It's not only me who says this. All the top action game players are equally amazed by the game. Who are the top action game players? So let us dig and see their divine thoughts about Oh, God. I'm going to try this.
Go back up. I want to read the thing.
Okay, Elijah the mighty prophet. You want to read this one? You approach the prophet Elijah, seeking his guidance. It is a moment of great importance, and you are eager for his counsel. Elijah is a towering figure, clad in robes of white. His face is stern but kind, and he holds himself with quiet dignity. He nods respectfully to you as you approach. What can I help you with? He asks. This is like not like you cannot hype this up with the words they have here. Like, what are they doing?
I don't know, but it's hilarious.
These are not the words I would use. Okay, let's try this
great.
One. A closer look at King David, the most important figure in the Old Testament.
I mean, the screen captures are pretty good. I think this screen capture.
I hope so.
I hope so.
They did say, well, this might be one of the fully animated cutscenes.
Yeah.
Whereas this looks like actual gameplay.
That's fair. Fully animated. But, it'll be...
Hold on, I want to read some more in my announcer voice.
Okay.
You've probably heard of King David, but what do you really know about him? In this article, we'll take a closer look at this most important figure in the Old Testament. Come on, guys, just hire me as your voice actor. I'll hype this up for you. Oh, man. Fun, engaging, and informative. Those are the words of an educational video game.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Over 6 hours of the Bible in animation. That's actually quite a lot.
In animation, though. That's
6 hours of cutscenes, dude. That's a lot of cutscenes. That's a lot of cutscenes.
They say hours of fun gameplay. I'm concerned that they don't tell you how many hours the gameplay is. I'm a little concerned.
Oh, here we go. Top Gamers Review on Adventures of the Old Testament video game. Let's see what it says here. Dang, that's a lot to say before you get into the actual people talking about it. There's no review here. What are they talking? Oh, here we go. According to Demi J, I don't know who that is. Louise Miguel Gianelli, Mylan Powell.
I don't know who these people are.
Aneg or Angie. I don't know who these people are.
I don't know either.
Okay. I mean, these people could be great game players. I've never heard of them. Anyways, I'm gonna try it. Maybe I'll stream this game. I've read most of the Old Testament, so I'd be a good one to actually review this game.
I'll watch the 6 hours of cutscenes.
Anyways, Andrew and I saw this and we're like, we couldn't pass it up. This is something else.
It was too funny when you read what the.
Well, let's hear. What platforms can you play on? Available to play on PC, Mac, and mobile now, but apparently it will be launched for other consoles Q4 2022. So it should already be on other consoles. What game modes are there? Single player, multiplayer, and co-op?
Wow.
Open world?
Wait, open world?
What? No, we're multiplayer in this game, Andrew. Darn it. Is there a monthly subscription? No, the game, depending on the platform, will either be free or a one-time purchase.
Wow.
Is this game only for people who believe in the Bible? No, this game is for all people. While we have animated the entire Old Testament and created fun gameplay, we're not preaching. Just laying the stories of the Bible in a visual way. Is this like not their first language? Some testers of the game purely enjoy the adventure and drama of the animation and gameplay. Some religious schools have utilized the game in their classroom. That's not surprising.
Okay,
there's a wide audience that enjoys playing this game from an age, genre, interest, and religious perspective.
Look up where this is coming from. I bet it's like Korean or something. That's on Korean.
Well, what is Rocket?
A Rocket. Company. I don't know.
Company? You mean company?
Company. Okay.
Jeez, what in the world? Where is your brain at?
I don't know. I'm trying to understand what they're going for here. I believe that this is definitely not a
global conglomerate and startup incubator. Rocket has a diverse portfolio of innovative tech, premium products, and services.
Rocket Games. Look up Rocket Games.
Oh, Rocket Games is part of this company. Hold on. It's got a website. Okay. It travels worlds beyond, coming soon. You don't even have like anything on this website. It's just Rocket Games. Oh man. If any of the devs watch this, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find them.
Hey, if any of the devs,
this is getting more and more sketch. Did you guys even read the Bible?
We're more than willing to let you come on for an interview. Actually, that'd be entertaining. Please.
I just said, I like, whatever, man. All right, let's see here. They do have their official Twitter account, Rocket Video Games. They've got 14,000 followers on LinkedIn. They were founded in 2019 and headquartered in Los Angeles.
Oh, wow.
All right, then.
Okay. So, next topic then. You kind of put it on the screen already.
Hold on. Not on purpose though. Hold on. I want to pull this up real quick. Let me see. Where is it? There's a little thing about them. Let's see what this is. Check out their LinkedIn profile. About to be the biggest game developer ever, building the Bible stories.
I mean, they took on the most ambitious task you could have.
That is a pretty ambitious property to try and tackle.
That is.
If it'll ever load. Holy cow. All right, forget this. Okay, moving on to the next one. Along with Apple Arcade, which we talk about like every week because Andrew and I love Apple and we know how big of a company they are. Netflix is something that Andrew keeps an eye on every single week. So
not every single week, but hey, we were looking at topics and we searched this, and when you look at it, unless you're actually looking up anything about Netflix specifically, I don't think you're really seeing this. And they have a Sonic Prime TV show,
which already is out, by the way.
Which is already out. If you scroll down, they've
got the Shredder's Revenge mobile game.
Yeah,
which is TMNT's making a huge comeback right now.
They're talking about Squid Game, which how long until Squid Game actually gets a game? That's the real question.
I'm surprised. I mean, there's a lot of knockoff, like not real Squid Game games now.
Right.
So who knows? Maybe they'll just buy one and redo it. Like just buy a fake one and make their own out of it.
So more about the Shredder's Revenge, but they have another Netflix latest game adaptation up there. You
Right
have
there, Dragon Age.
You talk about Dragon Age as a TV show, which is apparently out.
Apparently, Reed Hastings and Elon Musk are friends. That's interesting. I mean, that is not surprising, I guess. They're both big business people.
Look at the title right above. Netflix CEO likes Elon Musk video games and binge watching.
I just said that.
Yeah, but I'm saying he likes video games and binge. His focus right now is on video games.
I mean, they are
Look at how many shows they've added.
They are more of a draw to. Well, let's see here. Netflix will be next on Microsoft Shopping. Let's just see what this says.
I highly doubt that they can afford them.
That's why they cut 10,000 people so they can afford Netflix.
that's how much they overpaid those 10,000 people.
Satya Nadella keeps thinking bigger. Microsoft's chief executive has been buying new businesses at an impressive clip. Look for him to add Netflix to the list in 2023. This is sounds like it's a done deal the way they're writing it, but I don't think it is.
They're not going to. Look how hard it has been.
Well, let's find out what they say. Let's just read through this article. Since 2014 promotion into the Technology Titans corner office, Nadella, he's been around that long. Wow, that's a long time for a CEO of Microsoft. I mean, I remember when he got announced. It was back when Microsoft phone was still a thing, or Windows phone was still a thing. Yeah. Nadella, he killed that Windows phone so fast. Nadella has embarked on a pricey shopping spree. It started with a $2.5 billion acquisition of the company behind the hit game Minecraft. That was a good choice though. That game sells money. That game just prints money. I forgot they bought LinkedIn. That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Nuance.
That's a lot of money for LinkedIn.
Yeah, but that information on LinkedIn is kind of invaluable. You know where everybody works.
Fair.
Especially if you want the talent pool to come your way. Nuance, Activision Blizzard was the largest, $69 billion. Microsoft's still trying to buy Activision Blizzard, by the way.
I don't know if that's going to go through at this rate.
Netflix chose Microsoft as its advertising partner, probably because they're cheaper as an advertising partner than frickin' Google is, or Facebook even, honestly. Microsoft's been selling themselves short in advertising, even though they have really good tech for it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Netflix has its own big plans in gaming. In 2022, the company co-led by Reed Hastings snapped up developer Sprite. Okay, the reason Microsoft wants this is imagine if Game Pass and Netflix were one thing.
Dude, but not just that. It's the fact that they don't have the mobile games. That's the reason why they want Activision for
that is a good reason why,
right? The reason that the Microsoft phone died is because they didn't have the apps. They didn't have the content.
With a market value 13 times that of Netflix as of early December, $1.8 trillion, Microsoft can afford Netflix at a 30% premium. It would put Netflix at about almost $200 billion.
There's no way that they spend.
I'm not gonna say no way. I mean, the service economy makes it so easy to justify this.
I'll tell you this: if Microsoft buys Netflix, they're releasing a new phone.
You think so?
Yes. The only way they buy the thing that makes the most sense for them to buy Netflix is if they're releasing a new cell phone and they're going down the tablet and cell phone marketplace that Apple has. Only reason that makes sense is because the reason they lost so bad when they first had the cell phone was because they didn't have the App Store that Apple had. That's the reason that they were destroyed, right? So, and they didn't have the developer support either because they didn't have as good of a store. So, I would view this more as a play on going towards the mobile market. Then
I think they'd rather just not be. Well, I mean, they might want to fight Apple for revenue, but I don't think they're going to build a cell phone company again.
I don't know, man.
They already own Nokia. They had their chance to do this, and they failed.
And I'm telling you that if they released a Surface cell phone, there's a legit chance a lot of people would buy it.
I'm surprised they never did release the Surface phone. Imagine a dockable phone that's a full-blown computer.
That's what I'm saying. If they go down this route of trying to purchase Netflix, and then they make it and then they try to make a whole thing about subscriptions and playing things on your phone and docking experiences and whatever else, I could see Microsoft doing that. I wouldn't be surprised if Xbox gets rolled into the Surface brand. They're trying to make a premium brand that is like Apple. That's how I've always viewed Surface.
Yeah.
this rumor is a weird one, just because 190 billion is pretty steep.
It is. Well, imagine Microsoft releases the Surface phone that's based on gaming, and then it like Netflix comes with it or whatever.
Yeah,
because you could
I
throw
mean, it would be
you could
based
throw
on
like a year of
productivity too.
you could throw a year of like xCloud Game Pass on it for pennies on the dollar since you own the service.
Yeah, I'd be extremely curious to see where this went, just because maybe Microsoft does see it as an opportunity to release something that where they're not fleecing everybody in the App Store for profits.
Right.
Because that's honestly the only way someone could take on Apple's dominance right now is if you made a much more friendlier experience for developers to not have to pay so much for things like that.
Imagine they make a phone and Epic like Fortnite goes on there immediately because of how good the deal would be.
Right. And
dude, all you would need to do is convince Epic Games to put Fortnite on your phone.
I mean, they would probably have a willing partner in Spotify, just because.
Yeah, Spotify. Yep.
Spotify is really upset right now. They want to do audiobooks, but can't do it without the pricing. Yeah.
Yeah. I know Apple is not very kind to audiobooks.
Yeah. So while I guess this isn't the craziest idea. I just don't know if I see Microsoft wanting to go down that route, because I know the current CEO seems like he's very hostile to going back to the mobile market.
Netflix? Oh, yes, Satya Nadella, yeah.
Yeah, he seems very hostile every time I've ever seen an interview about or read an interview about the Microsoft coming out with a phone, because it was like 2 years ago that the Surface crowd was asking about coming out with a cell phone. So
it just wasn't the right timing. The Windows Phone had like barely died and been buried in the ground by the time they did that, because they were still supporting Windows Phone.
Yeah,
people that owned them up until a certain point, kind of like BlackBerry supported BlackBerry 10 years after that died.
But I don't know. Maybe that's the route that they're considering. Netflix.
Maybe they're gonna merge maybe they're gonna finally merge the personal communications device with the cell phone, or with the Windows operating system, like making something that's fully encompassing. Because I know they experimented with the Surface Duo, but here's the thing: you need a little more.
Ugly.
It is. I hate it. I don't like the Surface Duo, but it's a form and function device, proof of concept, not a consumer product, in my opinion.
And I agree with you. That's why that's what I honestly thought it was, is that was them flirting with the idea of a phone, but not wanting to fail with a phone. Right. Like, they're not ready. It would be, okay, comparison point. It would be the Wii U versus the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, Wii U is kind of a proof of concept that the Switch needed to exist.
Yes.
Although there are a lot of things about the Wii U I like better than the Switch. Like, for example, ergonomics of the gamepad is so much better.
Fair. But just the person who likes the Vita, okay. Just
look, if you want to compare ergonomics, the best feeling device I have probably owned from a portable perspective is some combination of the Wii U and the Steam Deck. Steam Deck's a little too heavy. The Wii U gamepad is ergonomically the best feeling.
I can see that. But no, okay. With that in mind, maybe Microsoft is actually willing to go down the cell phone.
Imagine an Altered Carbon video game.
That'd be actually really good.
That'd be legit.
That would be good. That would be.
Who owns The Expanse now? Is it Amazon still?
Amazon, yeah. That's why I'm saying, like, Amazon, if Amazon gets their thing together with the IP and then doing video games based on what they have, I think they're dangerous.
I think the way that Amazon everybody's going after this cloud gaming thing, and that's stupid. You know where Amazon could easily make a huge dent in the marketplace? Kindle gaming tablet with an actual game controls on it. Like, boom.
That's true.
They should be releasing a portable device. They could compete directly with the Switch day one with some Ubisoft deals. Throw Assassin's Creed on it. Boom. You're competing with Netflix. Nintendo.
I mean, here's the thing, though. Amazon has deals with Ubisoft, but so does Netflix. And it looks like Netflix has gone for the mobile gaming way stronger, because they're coming out with that Assassin's Creed game.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, if Amazon legit threw some money and put some IPs directly on a portable device, especially one stronger than the Switch as far as computing power goes, You could compete day. Look at the Steam Deck; they sold over 1 million.
That's true. No, I hear what you're saying. It's
especially if what Amazon should be doing is similar to Netflix, but not the same. They should have a pay-as-you-go service where you have access to all of the Amazon-owned IPs, and then you download them.
Man. I'm not gonna lie. One, when you look at how Netflix and Amazon have IP, and I guess even Apple to a certain extent, I don't know if their shows have been as good, but they've put some good. They have a couple really good.
They did that really cool
Foundation
Dinosaur World show.
Oh,
it was like basically Planet Earth, except like prehistoric Planet Earth. I like that one.
I think if any of those companies realizes how powerful having TV series that are linked to a game, like combining that IP,
not Rings of Power.
That's the problem though with Amazon is they biffed their top IP that they could have done it.
Gosh, they screwed that up so bad.
They screwed it up so bad. So it's like I don't have. Okay, I'll be honest. Rings of Power made me lose faith in Amazon's ability to pull anything off.
Anything big like that, anyway.
Yeah, it made me lose confidence that they could actually be the big dark horse.
See,
Netflix.
That's the thing where Netflix is actually like kind of good.
Netflix is good at taking adaptations. Like if
they're screwing up The Witcher now, though.
Not on purpose.
Do you actually know what happened?
He made promises to go to DC, man.
No. That's not how it went down. I've read deep down into the trees of what's going on, the weeds. Okay. Basically what happened was Henry Cavill promised to do the 3 seasons provided they stayed very strictly to the script. Not necessarily, like, he didn't care who they hired to do the job, like whatever. That's why actually it's funny. I didn't even notice how diverse the cast was until somebody pointed it out to me. I was like, wow, yeah, you're kind of right. You know, like there's a lot of diverse cast hires for this one, and it's good writing, so it works. But as far as that goes, the Henry Cavill stayed on for 3 seasons because they promised to stick to the script as much as possible. Unfortunately, at season 4, they decided to take a fork in the road and take creative liberties, and Henry Cavill wasn't having that. So he looked for a way out. DC offered him the Superman job back, and that turned out to be nothing. And now he's going to work for the Warhammer 40K series getting produced, which he's a huge fan of.
That sounds like that could be pretty cool too, though.
Anyways, long story short, it sounds like Netflix only does the right thing when they're forced to.
You know, well, I think it has to do with who the directors are, which is probably
Henry Cavill is Geralt. End of story.
No, he is.
The person that was Liam Hemsworth. Sorry, I ain't watching that.
I might watch it just to compare.
I'm not watching
it is. No, but the
even if he did a good job, I'm just so angry about.
Oh no, that's fair. I'm just saying, like, Netflix so far has done pretty good by video games. When it comes to TV series adaptions, I'm actually really curious to kind of watch the one that they've released about Dragon Age. I didn't realize that was on there.
It looks like it's animated, but it's
animated, but that's fine, right? I don't care.
I mean, Dragon Age is a video game. It's not like
a video game. I don't like. That's the thing. I don't care if they make an animated show of a video game. I'm perfectly fine with that.
You know what would actually make a really darn good show, or rather a good series to build?
Yeah,
Mass Effect. Mass Effect has so many moving parts. You could easily create something interesting or fun in that universe.
I just want to point out that Dragon Age being made into an animated TV series for Netflix shows that they have a good working relationship with
EA, BioWare.
And BioWare specifically. But if they were to take Netflix hasn't had a lot of good military. Well, they had that one All's Quiet on the Western Front, which turned out pretty good. But they
who did Westworld? Was that HBO?
HBO.
Okay, that was pretty good. I think
Netflix would do Bad Company. Okay, I think that'd be hilarious. I think Netflix could do Bad Company, and I'd be happy with it. And
I mean, I will say some of my favorite TV series despite Netflix making a lot of bad choices.
Mm.
Altered Carbon was really freaking good. That's one of the best shows.
Did that get canceled after 2 seasons, or is there a third?
I don't know. I'm curious, but that was one of my favorite shows at Netflix. Like, they did such a good job.
Concept. It's a
and
great
they
concept.
really did a good job towing that line of the soul versus technology. Like, that was a really good concept to take on, especially with that one police captain or whatever she was, and her mom or her grandma, and her not wanting to be reinserted into a new body. It was really good. I liked that one.
I also liked their Marvel shows when they were doing them. I think those were good. Those Marvel shows were better than anything that Disney Plus has done really with Marvel. So that's my review of it.
Yeah.
I could see Netflix not wanting to be purchased, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. So there's definitely 2 seasons of it. I don't remember if they made a 3rd season. I can't find it.
Oh, Shadow and Bone was pretty good too. I don't know if you've seen that. That's based on.
We watched like most of the 1st season of that.
Okay.
That one it's decent. It's kind of creepy and weird, but it's decent.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's not interesting.
Yeah.
It was interesting. We stopped watching it. Oh, here we go. Why Altered Carbon season 3 was canceled.
Oh, sorry, Chris.
I really liked it. It was good. It was really good.
Dude, no, I really liked the first one. I didn't watch the second one yet. I keep forgetting that it's out.
Let's see here. What did they? Oh, they said COVID was to blame. I guess that makes sense.
Oh, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's not forever canceled.
Yeah. So the unexpected budget increases due to the pandemic.
They might revisit it.
Let's see here.
It's on ice. I think that's the more appropriate terminology for it.
It's been put in that cyberpunk jail, the cyberpunk jail where they put the chips in for you're sentenced to 500 years and you're going to serve every bit of them.
Yeah,
that was the funniest part to me. Was like you could put somebody on ice for like ever.
Yeah.
Imagine like not dying, but not having a body for like hundreds of years.
Yeah, it'd be weird.
That would be really weird, especially because they just insert you in whatever body they find.
Okay,
but like, what the F?
Let's be honest. Do you really think Microsoft would spend $190 billion for video streaming service?
I do.
You think they would drop that much?
I do, because like they don't have what's Microsoft got for video streaming.
I mean, they don't need it though.
They went into the gaming industry and bought out the biggest players they could find, Activision and Bethesda. If they go into streaming, it's go big or go home, baby. And Disney has everybody else. What other independent streaming media can you buy right now? Tell me.
You can't, but that's okay. My comment is, what do they gain from Netflix that...
Then they're competing. They want to compete. Microsoft can't launch a streaming service with no IPs. They've already given away.
No, okay, but what I'm saying is, who are they trying to...
Well, who owns Paramount? Maybe they buy Paramount.
I don't know who owns Paramount, honestly. I thought Paramount got purchased. There's no reason for them to buy Paramount. That's not that good of a streaming service.
But it is a streaming service, and it does work.
Yeah, but, so is Peacock. That's a streaming
They're owned by
service.
something called National Amusements.
Yeah, but, okay, Chris.
Who the heck is... It's a private company.
Dude, Peacock is one too, okay? ABC, NBC.
How on earth does a private company own... Like, they gotta be huge.
What, Paramount Plus?
No, I mean, like, how could... I'm surprised that a private company that big exists in the media streaming service area. That's pretty big.
That's a person who doesn't want to lose their creative license.
Yeah, National Amusements buys Viacom, and then they bought a whole bunch of stuff. Wow, that is so interesting. I did not realize there was any private industry partner, any private industry in the media space.
Yeah. The
Netflix is publicly traded, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's expensive stock too, by the way.
I believe that.
The thing about it is, who are they trying to take on with that besides Apple?
Apple, Google.
No.
Technically, I think honestly, Microsoft feels lost in an era where they don't have Mixer, they don't have any streaming option whatsoever provided by them. The only thing they have is their partnership with Facebook, which is awful.
But they're not at this point. It's not competing with YouTube and Google.
Netflix is already in a place where they want Xbox cloud streaming to be. It's on everything everywhere. Netflix was on freaking Nintendo.
Okay, if they make the purchase of Netflix, then you have to take back everything you've said about cloud gaming, because they would be 100% moving Game Pass to be cloud gaming at that point.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. If they buy Netflix, then they'll have a gaming category, Netflix for Game Pass, and you will be able to stream directly through Netflix. That's probably that might be one of the reasons they want Netflix, because Netflix has a one up on them with streaming. Netflix already has
it for the infrastructure.
Netflix already has some games like Telltale style games in their service.
Yeah,
there's Telltale series games in there.
It still seems like it's a play against Apple if they're trying to come up with a cell phone. That's because right now they have no need to have that extra content. You know what I'm saying? Like it's weird to add TV shows and original movies to their portfolio.
I guess the CEO / chairman of the company that owned Paramount died in 2020.
Oh.
And I don't think they've got a new person in charge yet. Paramount, Sumner Redstone, apparently. Anyways, back to this. I think this is definitely possible.
I mean, they're trying to say there's a window of opportunity because its value has gone down. But
yeah, I mean, now's the time. Now's the time. Right the ship of Netflix, buy them, and do something with it. I mean, then again, if the FTC actually blocks the Activision Blizzard deal, all this is null. There's no way Netflix goes.
I don't know how they could ever purchase Netflix if that deal. I guess they'll.
If Activision Blizzard if that deal goes down, no doubt in my mind, Netflix is off the table.
Actually, it might not be. There's a case to be made for Netflix that isn't the same for Activision. They wouldn't be taking over a large share of gaming by doing that. They would just be taking over a large share of, which is already a large share, right? It's already independent. They don't have a video streaming thing, so it's not like they would be increasing their market share, right? It would just be them competing with Apple and Amazon, which no one could say, "Oh, you're not allowed to have this," like the other companies. There is the mobile gaming aspect, which people might complain about, but I don't think Netflix has a big enough share of mobile games to have that be a legitimate complaint. And Microsoft doesn't have mobile games, so it's not like you could claim that's a market cap share issue either. So I guess honestly, I could see Netflix being allowed way faster than Blizzard being purchased. That's just
okay. Let's see here.
There's a lot less legs to stand on,
Which streaming service has the most subscribers? Let's find out.
Dude, it's obviously Netflix.
I'm curious though. I'm curious if anybody's got the numbers.
It's Netflix, Amazon Prime by default because a lot of people have Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Then it's going to be Disney Plus. And then it's going to
notice Apple TV is not even on the list. Apple Music's on the list though.
Let me have a guess here. So it's Netflix, Amazon, Apple, Disney Plus. Is Peacock on there?
Well, this is Q4 2020, so this is still old data.
Okay.
But in Q4 of 2020, so Apple TV was still pretty new. They had 10 million subscribers in 2020. It's pretty good. But Netflix had 200 million as of Q4 2020. Amazon Prime was 150 million, so they're still 50 million behind. Spotify's third, 144 million. That's pretty big. I'm surprised. I think this
I
is
mean,
only
that
counting
doesn't
paid
surprise me that
subscribers.
much. Think of how many other things have music, though.
Apple Music's at 68 million in 2020.
Yeah.
I'm curious what the numbers are in 2022. See if I can find one.
The Apple TV is going to get a huge boost though because of sports.
Netflix is still the clear leader.
Yeah.
Wait, this is old. Is it?
It has to be old.
73 million? That's it? This is old. There's no way.
Well, they did have a big drop off in subscribers.
Yeah, but not
That's why their
100,
stock
not
tanked.
130 million. They didn't drop 130 million. There's no way.
No,
Let me see.
Nothing that aggressive.
Okay, best streaming services of 2023. Number one is still Netflix.
Yeah.
This is usnews.com, apparently, whatever this is.
Just pull it up on the.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh, this is by rating. Highest rated is Netflix, followed by whatever Fubo TV is.
It's a way to watch sports.
Is it? Okay. Disney Plus, Amazon Prime Video. Crunchyroll's, I think, still free. It's the only reason I use it sometimes. Is either Crunchyroll or well, it's something that Crackle. That's owned by Sony. That's free.
Crackle, I think, is underrated for some of the shows that they have. Snatch is one of the funniest TV shows. So
I'm surprised that Crackle even exists still.
Right, but they have like 2 really good shows on there. I haven't watched anything else.
You know what I noticed though? You know who's not on this list? Who's missing?
I don't know.
Apple TV. Where's Apple TV on this list?
Oh, that's true. Oh, and HBO is on. I'm just saying HBO.
I would not say HBO is one of the
purchasable though. Purchasable.
I would say that HBO is really good content, but they have quality, not quantity.
Yeah.
They do not have a quantity. Here we go. This looks like it might actually have all the information. Let's find out. Netflix, 225 million. Okay. Prime Video, 200. Oh, Prime made some comebacks since 2020. 205. That's a lot.
It's just too good of a service overall.
180 million. Spotify really made out with that Joe Rogan podcast. I'll tell you what. They gained 30 million subscribers.
Yeah.
130 for Disney. I'm surprised they broke 100 that fast.
I'm not surprised. It's because they put all the movies on there. That
HBO Max, 85 million subscribers worldwide.
It's not bad.
Apple Music is 80 million. And I bet a lot of those Apple Music people are Apple TV people too.
Probably.
Amazon Music, 55 million.
That's a separate subscription.
Yeah, they have there's a premium Amazon Music subscription.
Oh.
Yep.
That's a weird. Okay.
I almost did it for a little while when I had an Android device because Google Play Music sucks.
Yeah.
See, YouTube Music only has 50 million. It's been out longer. Hulu, 45 million, which these are also technically Disney people because Disney owns them.
Well, okay, here's the thing.
Who is still paying the ridiculous amount of money for Sirius XM? I mean, I get it that satellite technology is not cheap, but holy cow, I would never sign up for this.
Do it for their car, man.
I don't care. I don't drive enough for this. I mean, to me, that's the most insane deal ever.
Apple TV wasn't on the list, so.
Well, yeah, but they probably only put one Apple product on there.
They put 2 Amazon products on there.
You're right. Let's find out what Apple TV's got subscriber-wise. It's got to be worth enough.
It's going to grow because they got the. It's going to grow ridiculously just with Indian subscribers because that's how you're going to get Cricket.
Okay, so they think that there are 50 million current subscribers to Apple TV as of March of 2022. That's the best data I've got. So from March till now, they've sold a lot of Apple TVs, a lot of Apple iPhones, and they've given away subscriptions. And a lot of people, once they finish the free trial, will forget to cancel for at least a month.
Probably longer. It's only $5.
Apple TV, I think Apple TV is up to 10 now.
I thought it was still $5.
It's either 5 or 10. I don't remember which.
Let me look.
You might automatically default to family subscription, so it may be $10.
Let me look.
Oh, man. So let's see here. Yeah, they're estimated in 2022 to have 50 million. It says Apple TV Plus, this is July of last year, had reached at least 6% of market share in the US. Has Apple TV clawed its way out of the basement? Oh, I love these article titles. Yeah, I guess as Netflix started losing subscribers, Apple TV and Disney Plus were gaining subscribers.
It's $7 for Apple TV.
Okay, I knew it went up above 5. I knew it was a little higher.
Peacock
Apple
is
Arcade.
$5.
Apple Arcade is still 5. So here's the thing. The real thing about Apple is the whole point of Apple building these services is to get you into their ecosystem of services. Just like they got you into the ecosystem of devices. People who bought an iPhone probably bought an iPad, probably bought an Apple TV, probably bought a Mac, probably bought all these other AirPods, Apple Watch. It's all about the ecosystem. So Apple is building an ecosystem of services similar to the way they built the ecosystem of devices on purpose in order to get people stuck into their endless service loop.
I'm still like not sold on Apple One, but that's just me.
I'm not saying I like it either. I personally hate the way they manage. So here's a little side story for you. DRM. You know DRM was with video games. Are you aware that iTunes Match subscribers like myself, people who like to get the high quality version of the tracks there. So basically you take the music off of a CD, right?
Mm-hmm.
And iTunes Match goes and grabs DRM free downloads of the music you're ripping off a CD direct from iTunes library and allows you to keep that file. It's one of the coolest things Apple ever released because I can grab a CD off my shelf, plug it in, and for $25 a year, I get the high quality, high fidelity music from the iTunes store for free, direct from ripping my CD because it does the matching. So if I were to subscribe now to Apple Music, it takes all the music in your library and basically removes them because you're going to stream all your music from now on and adds DRM to it where you can no longer burn those CDs off of your iTunes library.
I'm sorry, Chris. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry they did that to you.
I that's why I haven't signed up for Apple Music. I looked it up, and like a lot of people on Reddit let me rephrase that. The few people who have iTunes Match on Reddit like I do agreed with me that it would be a bad choice to ever allow DRM to infiltrate my library of music.
Yeah.
Imagine your games. Like, let's say you installed a bunch of games on your Xbox. All of a sudden, you can't play them because you stopped paying for the subscription service, even though you have the discs on your shelf.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Honestly, that would probably end up being a lawsuit at some point.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be at some point. Like somebody like me is going to have this problem in the future. Stop paying for Apple Music and lose access to millions of hours of CD rips.
Yeah. I don't know. I just use Spotify. I don't really care. Now, if I got audiobooks, I'd probably end up using Spotify's audiobooks.
Okay, so I do like Audible. I just won't pay for their service.
Same.
Like as far as Audible goes, I will sign up for their free trial every time they give it to me. There's like once a year and get 2 free Audible books every year. But I won't pay $15 a month to have access to Audible Premium.
Yeah.
And I won't pay $30 per audiobook either.
No. The price on audiobooks is kind of steep.
I mean, I understand why though. Somebody spent like 20 hours reading a book. Like that's a lot of hours.
Okay, AI is going to make that much simpler.
I am not listening to some AI auto-generated audio.
Oh, come on.
I tried it with Siri because you can do that. God, it's creepy. Nope. It doesn't sound natural. It sounds and even if it did get to sound natural, I'd be even more creeped out.
Then all you need is like,
Anyways.
I don't know. If it's a subscription service.
Are you still there? Did you just time out on me? Yeah, you did time out on me. There you are. Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay. I did just recently see have Snoop Dogg read your book to you. I'm like, nope. No,
it's Samuel L. Jackson, man. You could turn your Alexa into Samuel L. Jackson's voice.
Anyway. Anything else you want to say today, Andrew? Or are we about done? I
think we've beaten this one to I
feel like every time we find a story about Apple Arcade or Netflix, it turns into like a 30-minute discussion about how Apple's taking over the industry.
No, because right now we were just talking about Netflix and Microsoft. So
it's a dangerous topic. I know we kind of rant on it a little bit, but I think people underestimate those two.
I think you're right. But I do want to adhere to our strict 10 p.m. cutoff. So
yep. So then I have nothing else to say.
As always, Andrew and I are better than Will, and we will see you. Since Will never watched this whole thing.
No, he won't make it to this point because he'll hear us immediately talk about Netflix or Apple, and he'll just be like,
"No, I ain't watching that." As always, I'm Chris.
And I'm Andrew.
And we will see you
on the next CHRILLCAST.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.